Exiled Iranian Prince Reza Pahlavi, the son of the late ousted Shah, and the man some Iranians want to lead their country, praised President Trump for what he called intervention in Iran. Here's what he told 60 Minutes.
My message to President Trump is that I'm here to echo and join millions of my compatriots inside and outside of Iran to thank him for having done and having the courage to do what is not easy, but intervene.
For more on the U.S. military action in Iran, CBS News intelligence and national security reporter Olivia Gazis joins us from our Washington bureau. Thank you so much for being here. So senior administration officials, including the CIA director, Secretary of State, will be talking with members of Congress this week. What do we expect them to be pressed on?
Sure. So these briefings are coming after Secretary Rubio's direct outreach to members of the Gang of Eight in the lead up to the operation last week. He's going to be back on the Hill for a second round with that congressional leadership, as well as with those other senior officials you mentioned, briefing both houses tomorrow. And lawmakers are expected to press for specifics on the length and the objectives of this campaign. Pentagon leaders and the president addressed both of those questions briefly this morning, but members are likely to seek greater clarity behind closed doors. And there's also sharper questions about the timing and the rationale for this operation and why it's been bypassing Congress. The White House initially pointed to the imminence of Iran's missile threat to the United States. But members are likely to probe whether there was actually intelligence indicating that Iran was preparing to act independently, or whether this was more about shaping and potentially blunting the retaliation that was expected to follow an Israel-initiated strike. Complicating all of this is the fact that the CIA, which was working with Israeli intelligence, had this highly credible insight that Khamenei and other senior leaders would be gathered on Saturday morning in one place. Intelligence that we are told influenced the timeline for this strike. So one of the key issues that lawmakers are probably going to explore is when that picture came into focus and how it may have shaped this final decision to begin strikes.
What do we know about Americans who are in the Middle East and are trying to get home?
Sure. State Department officials are saying they're not currently in a position to help Americans evacuate, including through assisted departure flights. They've issued shelter-in-place advisories for at least 10 countries in the region, including Israel, Bahrain, and Kuwait, and they're urging Americans to enroll in this STEP program so they have a better sense of who's overseas and who may want to leave. They've also stood up a task force to assist U.S. citizens, although in past crises, these forces have really operated as information hubs, answering calls, pushing out guidance, not necessarily organizing exits. It's worth noting, Lindsay, that the department has issued a rare worldwide caution alert citing the launch of this combat operation in Iran, urging Americans everywhere to exercise increased vigilance. Those alerts are uncommon, and they're typically reserved for periods of really heightened global threat. The last one that was issued was after U.S. strikes in Iran last June.
Olivia Gazis, thank you.
Thank you.